Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 19 of the Iron Glide Iron Teeth hard mode playthrough. We have just started a mild temperate season. Water is beginning to flow back through here, which is exactly what we need, as we used quite a bit of water, I think, while we were in that last long drought. Last time we pretty much spent a lot of the time well, say finishing. It's not quite done yet, but we certainly got started on expanding the tube network to bring some trees up this end, as we are not quite as bad as we were. It's recovering fairly quickly, actually, which is quite surprising, given that there's not much grown. But we went on a bit of a construction spree, as you can see. And that in itself caused us to lose quite a bit of trees, so looks like they can get cracked on with that, so we'll let them do that. So while this was good enough to sustain us to get to where we are right now, we are going to need to spend a lot more wood, a lot more sooner than we think. Down here, we also dug a pit, which is now filled to the brim with triple dynamites. Looking at this, where they've got everything. And this is going to be the power generation. Eventually, it's going to be like a multi-tiered thing where we use the water wheels powered by bad tides. And all of this will probably still be used as a location for stuff, but certainly not so much for running the bad water this way. Which might greenify this area slightly. What we could do is flood it, and I don't think we need to, but it will be good when we get there. Eventually we're going to have to probably dig into this mine, but right now we have this giant, let's say, tower block. It's not really a tower block. It probably once was, but not anymore. But without further ado, let's do the kabooms. And I still haven't rebound this key, but dynamite that out, and I'm hoping that this is the bottom, but I don't think it is. So let's see, can we lay a 3? Yes, we can. So it's not the bottom. So let's just lay this in, and they should be able to get to that pretty quickly. So let's just go back to here. So that's a very short cycle, crikey. Alright, alright, so I think there's one more. We could change those for ones, but whatever. Be reet. It will be reet. So we kind of need to get these pumping. I think it's probably time we expand this a little bit. Kind of held off for a while because at some point I want to blast this down as well. There's still a bit of space here to get additional water, so because these are not at full depth, but I think we're going to need more pumps than this. So we have absolutely no reason currently to be going downstairs, if you like, to get here. So what we're going to do is just literally expand this. And I think these are 3s. Yes, they will be 3s. And just rip the band-aid off these, and get the paths off there as well. So, and put these 2s in here. It's not a 2. What is this? Ah, yes. Shall I fix that? Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Bring these in and pretty much do a similar story everywhere else. So I really should use the tool for this, but never mind. Is it gonna be worth blasting this out? Probably. But am I gonna do it? No. In fact, this may be a little insane, but whenever that we've not done something stupid at least once. I am going to build this for the sole reason that it will allow us to dynamite underneath. And we'll see how far that gets us. So let's just chuck that in. And get the old water pumps. So to power this insane expansion, with not much time left on the clock for when it's due, I think this season is going to be pretty much, we're going to get what we're going to get out of it. But looks like we've had some beavers grow up, which is good. We don't have, I think there were 6 spare jobs. I think they're actually getting injured first, which is probably down to the danger that exists in these buildings. Again, this whole pit here is for power. The power will be for industry and bots. So that is pretty much what we're going to need them for. And we do have a bottleneck actually. So I think we're just going to rip all that out. Because if these are 1s, which I can quickly test, in theory that's the bottom. Landscape, and click, and yes. So if we now enhance the view down here as close as we can get, I'm hoping it's 1. Well, boy was I wrong. Okay, what is it? 2? Hello? Can I... Weird. It is 2. Damn, right, okay. That's going to make things a little bit more interesting, but it will use less, so... may as well let them finish. Bad tide is 25 days. That's not necessarily a good thing, but I'm hoping there's enough water pumped. We got 12k out of it, so I think we're in a decent position with that. That will use much less, well, 50% less extract for each one. So as the 3s take 2, these will take 1. So let's just may as well blow that. We do need to get the beavers down here as well, because we need to chimble a nice little hole in the side for the water to escape. Otherwise it'll flood, which would be devastating. And the wheels won't turn, and sadness. So I am quite concerned that this is not keeping up. It should have bad water though. We're just out of haulers. We're probably just out of haulers. And again, injuries abound. Right, okay, so I think it's time to get rid of these. They should. Are these full? Well. The more you know, eh? So, I guess it's time to put this housing in here then. That should give those guys somewhere to sleep. But with that, we do have a nice little area up here to put in some beaver breeding. So let's just put... Maybe a bit crazy to add 4, but we keep going out of balance with the injured beavers, so I think it would be good to have some spares, and we're going to need them to at least power these. They got that built lightly quick. Right, so that is on its way up. I could pause some of these again, which is probably not a bad idea. So I think I will do that. And yes, I am still on the old computer. I will pause these for now. So things are still a little bit jittery. As you can see, the frames is quite, well, not disrespectful, but it is certainly doing its damnedest to keep up. Anywho, right, have we got this built? Yes. Yes, we do. So, this is literally going to be just a little area. We're going to sink a couple of paths in. So I want to try and get a decent area for the water dump that's going to need to exist up here. So I'm thinking here. Let's just say goodbye to that guy. And we'll see what we get out of that. Again, we just need a forester and some people to just farm the area. Did I make these top priority? Yes, I did. We'll give them a minute or two to get that sorted. Oh good, they are starting to lay that, so that means they've built 3 houses, I think. No, okay. It'd be nice if you could see what was next in the build queue. I would very much like to see that. That would be good. Let's see. What's this? Soybeans. Yes. Plant. Oh, okay, they're eggplants. We definitely need more soybeans, but they won't grow underneath here. So I think we're going to have to rip these out and put them on this side. So it's probably not a bad time to just rip all these out. Unplant all of this. Eggplants are here, so put those back in, and they should be able to reach out here. As we can, if we just zoom down, build underneath. So once these are out the ground and harvested, we should have more space over here to stick them in. Even if there's no sunlight, but we won't question beaver logic. Wonder if it's worth... No. Stick with the plan. Rip those out, put those in. We'll do that. I believe in the beavers. Okay. How are we getting along over here? Let's just detonate that. And that. And yeah, just a waiting job, so let's just zoom back out. Oh, good. So they are working on the housing. So we have 3 spare beds. There should be plenty of space in this thing once it's built. So that's enough spare beds. That should hopefully mean that these are next on the list. I hope, but we'll find out soon. 20 days left to go. That's okay. Have they built this? Yes, they have. Let's detonate this. Right, so place bets on this not covering everything, but we will put in what we can if I can hit the right button. And we just need the fluid dump in here. We need a forester up here. And I guess, just to make things a little bit easier, storage. Let's get that in, and then with this guy needs to be removed. Please delete this guy. They will probably take 1,000 years to get around to that. So do that really quickly, and then we can just put in a nice little path. And then if we get 2 of these guys in, they should have a decent planting area. Again, this is probably going to be... let's just... I think oaks, if I'm honest. But I suspect I'm going to have to put another one of those fluid dumps around here somewhere, but we will worry about that when we get to it, I think. Didn't want to do that, but thanks anyway. Do we want to come up here? There's a lot of oaks there. It would make sense to, I think. So let's just... Is there a sneaky way through here? Of course there isn't. Let's do a sneaky way this way then. And just blow the top off that one. And I think we'll just put the fluid dump, I guess there, more than anything. This guy, yeah, I suspected as much. This guy's going to need some help up here, so we'll put another forester in. They'll be able to catch everything. This guy can't do everything, which is a bit of a shame. This will be a top priority job. Oh yes, whoopsie. There we go. We're going to need to put some more of those on. I guess. For lack of anywhere else to put them, I guess we'll just chuck these guys in. So they should be able to cut down anything. Let's just make sure everything up here is marked for cutting. Eventually, just to prioritize that, and then we'll put another staircase in, and I'm hoping that these guys will then be able to cover all of this, or at least share some of that love. We'll find out shortly. Are we out of dynamite? Yes, we are. Okay, that's a bit of a surprise. Said nobody ever. That's what you get for chucking it all down here. So, they say that trees are the future, so we need to get those in sooner rather than later. So, let's just up priority on these and that. With any luck... Well, we don't have any yet, but boy howdy do we have some injured beavers. Extract, alright, okay. So we do need to fix the extract issue. Why is there an issue with extract? The only thing you need is logs, which you have, and bad water, which you have. So am I to believe this is just... I don't think we need this guy running. Am I to believe this is just a production issue? Or is it a hauling issue? The productivity says that it's... I don't know. I guess we're going to need... where is it? In here somewhere? Centrifuge. Let's just try a second one. We have other bits for this, so... What's the worst that can happen? I guess... let's see. I expect the dynamite will bounce back quite sharply afterwards. Once that's sorted, that's done. So kaboom this. And similar story as we've already done. So let's just lay in these. And the old fluid dump. You know the story. And the forester. Let's just flip this guy. Thinking about it, I wonder if it'd be easier to move water somewhere centrally. As this one thing can serve two. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So, storage. Just going to put this guy here. Set him for water. Get rid of this. And I am going to put in that, and then delete this guy. Just because it gives us an extra little bit of planting space. And so this guy should... If there's someone in stuck, yes there is, that's perfect. Right, okay, so trees, oaks. Anywhere you've dug them out, we need to lay these in for a bit. Similar to what we had to do earlier on in the game when we were planting all of the trees down here to get the pine resin, of which we have, well, enough. It's not like it's a problem. So how are we getting on with this? Again, slow going. Stuck behind the dynamite, stuck behind the 40 beavers. Yeah, I think it's just going to have to be a grin and bear it job for those poor beavers, I think. The hospital wing that we have installed somewhere? Where is it? Housing. Yes, where are these? Oh, are they hidden underneath? I think I put them underneath. Yes, there they are. So we have 8. And then there's some more down the hill. So they're not all populated, so why are... Okay, fair enough. Leave them be. Leave them be. So... these need to get ripped out the ground sooner rather than later. I guess we are full on eggplants. Yes. Are we not doing anything with eggplants? No. Why not? Soybeans, cassavas, eggplants is it this one? Yes. Oh, yeah, we're full. Ha! Right, okay. In that case, we are going to need to go on a bit of a storage spree. You can be eggplant rations. But now you can be eggplants, and you can be eggplant rations. That should hopefully mean that they can get those built pretty quick. I'm hoping they can reach these from. It looks like they can build them from the. Yeah, they can. These are the greatest things, don't it, man? Or beavers. Good. So we are out of juice here. We could bring this workforce in actually. So let's just. We'll leave 3 there to relax. That should get everyone in. So I'm hoping. That will fix some of the issues. Right, so now comes the fun, quote-unquote, part of getting down here. Yeah, so we'll get, once we're down, it's just tunnels. But I need to do this in such a way as if we build it right to the edge, I want to put the tunnel right in here. So how bad is this going to be to build? Probably, I don't even know if there's enough run on this. I think there will be. This is going to swallow a lot of resources to build, but yikes. Alright, well, we have to commit. Could do with zooming in slightly. I'm just going to get rid of those. I'm hoping that this works. Oops. With just 1 billion ladders. Huzzah. Right. So we should be at the top, which we are. Good. Put that in and we're down, which is nice. Path this way. So we did have a nice little run. So we have a nice staircase. This will have to go at some point, but they can at least build everything at this point from the side. For that anyway. Just get rid of this. Goodbye to that, and after that we should see some nice decent recovery of both this and everything else. Looks like we can lay in some more trees, so let's just do that. Do these have the reach? They tragically do not, but they are ripping them down for us, which is nice. Don't think we need to plant this though, so let's say goodbye to that. And as per usual, we are snatched from the jaws of success of not having enough ability to reach everything from these guys. So once this is built, you can clear all that. We're probably going to cheese this with a tunnel, if I'm honest. And I know it's probably not the way that the developers intended, but it's better than dynamiting it down. So we'll just tunnel out, blast out all the supports, and all of this will disappear. But I do want all of these nice resources. It's probably a similar story for this. I'm going to expand out that way. And potentially also this way. But I don't know how much good the water's going to reach for all of it, but that is a different story. I'm hoping With a bit of chugging, the machine catches up eventually. So that needs hitting with a hammer, as does that, right? So that should all be dug by tomorrow. And now for down here, if we zoom in, clear the lovely crickets, we should be able to just dig that out. And that should appear, hopefully, all the way through. I'm hoping that this channel is wide enough, but we can always widen it if needs be. But they should get to that at some point, so let's just take that out. So yeah, that's recovered. That's recovered. Dynamite is also recovering, so let's just blast that and blast that. Now, so the fun begins of building this abomination that I'm trying to build in here. So the plan is going to be probably putting in levees for stuff, which is probably going to chew more wood than it should, in fact. Thinking about it, I would actually prefer... to use dirt. I think for a very valid reason of that will allow us a bit more freedom of basically the way it works, or the way I imagine it to work, is when I chuck in these things, they need to sit on something, which I could have, because I'm building this in layers, I just need to rip it all out. So we're going to have to use overhangs eventually anyway, so actually it may just be just as easy to build levees. Which I think is what we will do. So let's just... And assuming I've done this even remotely right, which is probably a total lie. What's up with that? Why is that not good enough? Why can you not do that? Is it not deep enough? It's not deep enough. Okay. Right. Okay, then one more of these. And another one of these. And now... Lovely. What am I doing? What am I actually doing? In hindsight, I may have built this massively wrong. There's a reason I built it this wide. What is that reason? Ah, yes. Power only works from the back of these things. So I just need to put these in. In theory, I suppose I could have not bothered with any of this, but it kind of is what it is. But the plan now is, I think, what was I thinking of doing? Just have to pause for a minute. I planned this like 2 million episodes ago, and without any sort of forward planning whatsoever. The power can only come out the back, which is correct. Watch my brain melt trying to figure this out. So we need to then put something above this. It does have to be a 2. So the plan is to cover these, like so. But all of them, and I'm hoping, I'm praying that I can... I can't. Well, well, well. So... do this then. And then put... Is that not tall enough? Okay, well, alright, so... That, then that, then that. Is it going to be efficient? No. But will it work? Probably not. So effectively, what's going to happen is what's going to drop down, bad water, it's going to drop down into this and run this way, at least for now. We do need to cover this with stuff to stop it leaking, but I'm hoping to get at least... apparently you can't look up in this game, but let's just zoom out slightly. Might be able to get a couple of layers of these in, and I'm hoping that the power this creates is worth this cost of resources. So I think I'm just going to build one layer for now, but I will build this back end just so that we can pretend that I knew what I was doing when I decided to put this in. I just need to figure out how to cover this side. So we don't need to be too concerned on this side with the power coming up, to be fair, because they're joined, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So this should be a case of this at all did not need to be dug out, but whatever, I suppose. Let's just say that we need one of these and one of these, and then I'm hoping that that kind of fits, sort of, kind of, sort of. Sort of, kind of, sort of. And again, similar thing of... So in theory, if we build that, let's get rid of these bloody bridges. Right, so it's a bit of an abomination, I will grant you, but we just need to carry this trend on all the way down here. So let's just... I'm hoping that's far enough away. is not. Is it now far enough away? It is not by a long shot, am I? That's too far. Do you know what? Just put them all in. I'll stick it where it lays. Let's... Thank you. Hmm. I think before I make a complete cock-up of this, I should reassess how I want to do this. So it's going to be a case of all of this has to go in. Have they dug that hole? Yes, they have. I apologise, it's not the most riveting viewing. Let's just run that to there. This path is very much in the way, so let's just make sure they've dug this out. They have. Right, so we do not need this path anymore. So... yes, please. No. Yes. Levies. Need to go up one. Weird, but we can at least see what's happening now. So with that in, let's just put another couple of them in. Right, so let's just lay all this gubbins in. So one. Right, so what I'm hoping will happen at this point is other than needing to remember to these need to go in. So now we need to cover this bad boy. So the best way to achieve this is going to be yeah, it's going to be this. Probably just as easy to do that. And in theory, strong theory is that we only need to put that in. Yes. So the water will drop down into there and run all of this for the short term. But what we can do... should we just build it all? This may be the most tedious viewing you'll ever watch, and for it I truly apologise. But we are making science. we are making science. The only thing I need to be wary of is on this one. We need to build another one of these. Whatever. 2 and a 3. As we need to pull the power up somehow, so we should probably think about power sooner rather than later. But effectively, these floors are going to be carbon copies of each other, so it's... let's just go back down a couple of layers. So we need something for the pillars to sit on, which is going to be these. And I think it's just going to be a load of 2s. This will probably be the most industrial project that we can possibly build at this point. And not a tube. We do not need a tube. What we do need is this one to go up. And I'm hoping... Oh, thank God. Right, good. We are potentially back in business. In fact, do we need to care about these sides? I don't think we do. So I am not going to care. We have a nice decorative side that exists for absolutely no reason other than I can't count and basic maths is not my strong suit. But we can pretend it's for the aesthetics, even though that's a total lie. Let's go one more. So what's going to be the problem now is going to be running up something of a proper height to get into here. Okay, it's 2 3s. All right, fair enough. That's sort of easier, I guess. Apologies if this gives you any sort of weird, wonderful motion sickness as well. Getting angles that work with my brain isn't easiest. So now we need to consider how we are going to deal with... I think it's just going to be these. I believe that's just one away. It is. So... This is going to be a bit painful, these ones. So we can do... not these. This is probably the worst design ever. In fact, I can save myself some resources here, so let's do that. He says, with all this abomination built. Would it be? It would not. Alright, let's just chuck that in. Get a tour. No, I was right. A tour, another tour, a tour, and a tour. Back to threes. Run the 3 to there. Run the 3 to there. I think I do need to care about this, so let's just put that in. 2, 2, 2. Oh boy, this is going to be lots of stuff. The floor. And the levees. Let me just get rid of that a sec. So that's that. More power. No, don't want that there. We don't want that there. This will either be a triumph or a massive waste of time. And I'm hoping it's going to be a triumph. We may need to do some additional digging around here, but we'll find out shortly. Okay, if we go up, I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze everything else in, but let's find out. Okay, we do need to build another layer. That's fine. Are these all threes? Just need to flip through here slightly. Okay, so that's everything attached on this level. Right, so what needs to happen now is this just needs to be built all the way up. I'm hoping and praying that I've not cocked this up, but in theory, what did I install here? My head is on fire trying to deal with all this. This is not my Saturday's normal thinking. So if that does that, How much do I actually need? Because I think that dictates what this needs to be. Is that the same? Yes, it is. Right, okay. I think we can do this. I think we can do this. So let's just sort this out then. That's gonna be interesting. Okay. What have I got up here? That's too low. I'm pretty sure that was right. So that needs to be like that. Then it's 2 on... No. What am I doing? 1, then a 2, then a 6. Yes, okay, right. And I can't build these because the bridges are in the way. And I can't do much about that, so let's just... Oops. These construction bridges will cause us a problem. Let's just... Right, we definitely need 3s all the way down. So let's just do that. Right, then we need... I think these are 2s. And I'm hoping that they're not... Well... Triple. And then a single. Right, okay. Alright, single. And it's a single. Don't need one there, but I do need one. And then it should just be a case of doubles. Thank you, autosave. And then... And then... oh, God, it's not. What do you want from me? Have I just missed the entire section out? I have. Right, alright. So that was... I've found an angle that doesn't hurt my head. Success. Okay, so in theory, if my plans are correct, which they are definitely not, but we should be able to get away with. We need to run the bad water up here, which is higher than I actually wanted to because we're going to have to increase the height of this, but we can build a little tunnel for that. That's not a problem. He says with absolutely no confidence now at this point whatsoever. But yeah, we will run a tunnel, sorry, raise a dam, I suppose, up here. It'll run into this. All of this will need to be covered first so we can get it built, take the bridges out. Once they can walk on it, it should be fine. Take these out and put the rest of it in. So then it'll come all the way down here. And then it needs to drop down. So I think we're going to need similar to what we built on this side, which we didn't build. That's a triple. Good lord, my head. Right, so let's do this and do this. And where's the platform? Okay. Platform is next to it. All this. All that needs to go. We need a platform putting in here and here. We just need to basically build what we've already built everywhere else. Let's just put that in. We need to make this an impermeable floor. That is a triple. And that is it a double? Apparently so. Okay, a double. And then it should just be a case of this. Can't build that because the ladders are in the way. So what will happen is, well, it runs across the top. It goes down to here, runs all this way, and drops down to here. What have I built here? Oh god. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, it drops down through there, down through that, to here, and then runs on the ground all this way. And out. At least that's the thought. That's the plan. That's the hope. And I'm hoping that one thing is enough. I'm very sorely tempted to blast another hole. before they build this, although I don't think I can because I've kind of built myself into a little hole here, but I can't get them back down. I'm just going to assume it's fine. Let's get back to the top. What I am going to do is I'm going to rip these out. And I'm going to put in am I going to do this? Should I do this? I am going to do this. We don't need this or this anymore. God. My brain is melting. So we need to do this. This. We need to remove this path here. Delete that. There's no beavers on them. No beavers on them. There's a beaver on that one. I don't know what happens to the beavers if they suddenly get ejected rudely elsewhere, but and then hopefully this should allow me to do this, and then hopefully it will allow me to do this, which it will. Right, good. So plan is more construction cranes. Not really construction cranes, I suppose, but making use of infinite height. And let's just put these back in. Whatever. That and that. Delete that. Bridge. Yes, I'm still going insane. Do that. They will... That'll still not help, but it will to a degree. I just need them to get off this bridge. Good, they've gone. Right. And the bridge here. And now I can do this. That, and I can now also do at least a layer of levees. They can't build underneath these, which bit of a shame, but it'll be fine. What we want to do, and they can at least build these. Okay, so, right, time for prioritization. So, these please. As this is going to be needed to get all of this done. Right. Now, in theory, that should be everything. This is going to completely bankrupt us, but let's go. What are you doing? Absolutely not. You do not get to be down here. All of this is to go, so demolish buildings. Goodbye. There's an easy way to do this, probably not, but yes there is. Yes please. Safety first. No beavers will be trapped in the making of this devastation. Okay, so with that done, go beavers go. What do we got up here? Logs, planks. Yeah. We're going to need some metal up here as well. So, storage. I believe that is another one of these. The old metal obtain. Good, right. So, this will take them a million years. So, we leave the beavers to that. It's like, oh, we have cleared up here. Nice. I thought they were gotten planted. Let's. Yeah, I tell you what, just rid me of these. Rip them out. And we have 7 beavers that have got absolutely nothing to do, but we will have shortly when this starts running true with water again. What we're doing for water. Don't think that'll last the 8 days. But now that that's done, how do these die? There's water in there. Okay, so we need to fix that. I don't think there's anywhere decent to put a forester. It did used to exist down here, but yeah, not anymore. So we just need some place to dump a load of builders huts. So let's just. That is the order of things. And then this will take some work as well, as we're going to have to channel this appropriately. We're going to have to do a bit more blasting as well. Luckily, we've got enough dynamite to do that. We shouldn't be making any more holes anytime soon. I don't... No, we definitely have to go at least some more, just so that we can say that we've got all the bits and pieces necessary to get the wheels on top of this. Otherwise, it'll just be a channel. We could, in theory, actually, thinking about it, we could, in theory, just leave it alone and just take the bridges out when they've built it all. We're going to have to send them in anyway on the top shelf to do all of that stuff anyway, so it's maybe not so much of a problem. But anyway, there is also the power for the top level to run it as well, but we can worry about that later. So with that on the case and us being out of wood and this area planted but not really doing much for us, we're going to have to, I think, expand this area much sooner than I thought. So let's get expanded, shall we? So if we just come down to here, fact, I've probably just made a mistake by doing that. I could have just watered this, but we're not going to get the beavers building time anytime soon. Right, okay, so with that said, we can take this guy out, and hopefully a forester can go in his place. Doesn't quite get the same reach, unfortunately. I wonder then if we do this and maybe do, I'm hoping if we do this. Oops, didn't mean to pause. If we do that, and then just get them to build this first. We've got 6 days left, so what we'll do is let them get that built. We have some spare stuff we can put up here, but we do need to plant some more stuff, so let's just worry about that for now. There's the eggplants, and it was... the soybeans, I believe. With that, hopefully, they can at least get us a decent amount of soybeans in, because they're too tall, weirdly, to grow above this, but these are not, so never mind, we'll see how that works. Okay, right, so that's now out of water. All of these are going to die in 7 days, 15 days, but the weird 6 days thing, so I don't know. Not sure, but we're below 6 days anyway. It's okay, we are desperately out of wood. Shocker. So it may be that we do have to prioritize this then. So, okay, let's see then. So let's cheese this with the tunnels. Whether this is frowned upon as a actual thing, I don't know. We probably have to rip some of these trees out to make any use of that. Let's just do that for now. They're definitely able to dig this out. That's not going to be too much of a problem. But let's just... do this as the next priority, as we need to expand the trees and being able to do anything with that. So I guess it's going to be a case of running that there, and then we can probably just as easy do that. And that should let them into all of that. We might have to place some paths in to fix that, but yeah. That will probably not free up as much as we want, because this will carve a cutting out of it, but it'll certainly delete this bit of mountain and this bit of hill, rightly or wrongly. But again, it will suck in all the planks, which we are going to struggle with, actually. But yeah, anyway. So, I don't know if we've got any still down in this pit. We have loads, I think. Yeah, we do. Too far, apparently. Well, let's fix that. Problem solved. Come get those resources. So... it'll just be a case of blasting this out, deleting these, and then we should lose chunks of the mountain. Yes, I suppose it's cheesing, but anyway. I am going to get them to do these ones with a bit more haste. And we have 9 beavers doing nothing, so with that, guess what? I mean, ideally, we would finish this off, but yeah, we're getting a bit tetchy on the old. Bit tetchy, right? Let's bump that up as well. Good, so the trees are gone. We now have path availability, so let's just chuck that in. And that should give them a clear path for everything there. We can see how quickly they're taking all this out, which the answer is not very, but never mind. They'll get to it as they can. So, with 3 days left, I think when the tides change for the better, we will call it there for this episode. So hopefully not too much longer to go. We do have some homeless beavers. So I guess we can put these in, but they can get to it as and when. So yeah, these numbers I don't understand. This is done but doesn't reach. That's really annoying. Really annoying, actually. Yeah, don't. I guess we're gonna have to put another forester in. Right, so that's all beavers. They're going to chew through pretty much everything we've got, which is fine. It's going to be planks, wood, and everything that's going to cause us quite a bit of issue. But yeah, we can... Once we delete all of these, it'll take a chunk out. We can plant the trees as we go. He's about halfway done. Hopefully you don't have to wait too much longer for them. Good, right. Yeah, no, they're nowhere near putting anything for that. That's okay. If push comes to shove, we can always cut some of these down. Again, the pine resin, we're not really using sparkly planks or anything. They're full. And nothing we have building. So we have no mine. I think the mine is the only one that needs it, if I'm honest. Let's just have a look. Yeah, particularly efficient one, you need water, planking, and extract, which, given our extract numbers, isn't the best, but it's fine. That's working okay. Right, so they look to be laying bits and pieces into this. Mainly wood. Oh, that's okay. And I guess it's just going to be a case of sitting and waiting for that to get built. So this is probably going to take several episodes for them to do. It would be nice if this wasn't here and we could just delete it, to be fair, so we could see what they were, how far they were doing. I may even do that. But I don't exactly know quite when. So let's just jump down here. Have they taken all the resources out? No, okay, that's fine. So I don't know if we... Didn't really do what I wanted it to do, but never mind. But there's some goods there that they can have, so that's... Gained us three spaces. I don't think we can plant underneath most of that yet, but it's going to be a case of chasing the beavers through this, to be fair. So it'll be what it'll be, but we'll get there eventually. Then we'll just take the chunks off. Right, so 0.6 days, the water will be a-flowing. These are not dead. These are going to survive. They're going to survive. That's okay. So why are these more dead than these? Oh, I see. I understand. They are not watered. These are not underwater. Right, okay. It all makes sense. I understand. Mystery is solved. Is there a way I can fix that quickly? No. Probably going to need to, because if I want to plant mangroves all the way up here, it would be a job for next time, I think, but okay, so that's the bad tide over. Hopefully this is a decent stretch of time, but we'll see. I think these are all set appropriately. But yes, running out of water would be devastating, and we should not do that. Okay, there we go. Good, right, so they're getting built, they're getting populated. We are going to run out of beavers for other jobs. They're probably going to come out of, yeah, the builder's huts. That's okay. Don't care too much about that in a minute. Good, right, so with that, we will end the episode. It's been probably quite a bumper episode here, up to nearly an hour and a half. But It's going to take about 3 hours to render on this machine, so wish me luck for tomorrow. That's Sunday's job. But with that, we have built this. Whether it works or not remains to be seen, as they need to finish it first. We do need to rechannel some of the good stuff on the bad water here to get it round and in. It may be that we can run the channels in first and sort of leave it at that, because we should be able to build from the side. It might be a case that we just fill it in with the once the bridges are out. Once that's done, do the channel business and then build what we need to build externally. Probably the best, but then we can at least run the water wheels and get the power what we need it for. And I'm hoping it's more than 2,854. So that's what we need right now. So with that, we've added more trees up here. We should be able to make the most of making some space up here, I'm hoping. Sort of, kinda. But yes, let's just fill this in where we can. Get more trees in. So yes, this should hopefully give us a decent amount of extra trees that we're running out of, as we are quite low, as you can see. So we'll see how that works and goes for us as time progresses through the next few playthroughs. We've built some more housing. That's going to take some time to get done. But we need these guys to pump, or their lives do actually depend on it. Jobs. Tell you what we'll do before. The last thing we'll do. Yes, please get the haulers in here to sort all this out. So yeah, get these filled in, and this will get built over time. We're probably going to lose beavers everywhere, which is okay, I suppose. And yeah, we'll pick this up next time. So if you have any comments, please chuck them down below. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.